Hello, warriors. First and foremost, I want to wish everybody a happy Sunday. I hope you had an amazing day. Here in Canada, it was 21 degrees today, so I spent some time outside and it was fucking amazing. It was so nice, super hot. Kind of wish I wore a tank top. It was that warm. Okay, so I want to get into a depression conversation. Just an informational one, I guess. So I've learned recently that if you are a highly sensitive, a deep thinker, feeler, and unusually perceptive and really good at following your intuition and pretty much an empath, there is this thing called existential depression. I hope I'm saying that. Existential depression. I've never heard of it, but to be honest, I kind of just skimmed through it, and I relate so much to it. It's so weird. So there's different types of depression, right? There's situational depression, which is usually caused by a situation, so trauma, loss of a job, stuff like that. Hormonal depression is caused by an internal imbalance of chemicals, so like in your mind, obviously. Biological depression, it's in the list. It's triggered by genetics. The thing with that with me is I believe in mental illness being genetic, but I look at it as the way of, if my mom had depression and she didn't heal it and she didn't like pretty much heal it, that trauma, the scars that it created in her mind and in her DNA was passed down to me. So it's genetics in the way of, if your parents suffered from mental illness and did not heal it and did not change their DNA with their perception, and there's a whole thing about it. I'm not going to get into it, I don't have time, but that's how I see it, how I see biological depression. There's also seasonal depression, which is usually triggered when in the change of seasons, and usually around winter time when it gets all gloomy and gray, where for a lot of us there's not much to do, so it just puts us in a little funk. Intrapersonal depression, caused by toxic beliefs and perceptions that lead to low self-worth. So for me, that's like when it's caused by bullying, and when other people put all these negative beliefs about ourselves in our minds. And then there's existential depression, caused by a lack of meaning and soul connection. Like, I am so freaking amazed right now that I even found like this thing. Like, I can't even fathom the idea that this even exists, and it puts me so much at ease now, because I've never really understood my depression. Like, yeah, sure, okay, it can be a little bit of seasonal, a little bit of interpersonal, it can be a little bit of this and that, but it always felt like it was bigger than that for me. And always felt confused and always felt lost on a spiritual level, and I never understood it, and I always tried to make sense of it, with what was out there and what was presented to me. Seeing it as it's such an unusual form of depression that doesn't respond to normal treatment. Obviously, when it's spiritual, you can't cure spiritual depression with medication. That just doesn't work. So what is existential depression in a nutshell? It's a type of spiritual emergency. So it's a crippling, profound, pervasive, and highly personal in nature. Most people who experience it feel numb, lost, and empty inside. These people tend to be philosophical, deep thinkers and feelers who want to understand the meaning of life. I don't know if you're that person. I don't know if you go through your days thinking about what life is all about, and our life purpose, and what I'm supposed to be doing. And like, I'm that person. I legit will sit there for 4 hours straight just wondering, like, why the fuck do I exist? And it really does trigger like my depression. It really, really does. And oh my God, I'm so like happy that I found I found this website. So clinically, it falls into a gray area as it often classifies as uncaused, although it can sometimes be triggered by internal or external crises. So a few signs that you have existential depression. Sorry, I'm like reading on this website because obviously I couldn't remember everything by heart. A few signs: continuous deep thoughts about the meaning and nature of life. Intense desire to answer seemingly unanswerable questions such as what is the purpose of existence, what happens after death, and why was I born? No wonder like us people that like overthink and deep think about all these things, like no wonder we end up depressed, because at the end of the day there's no answer. Like nobody can give us the answer, right? I truly personally feel that to get the answers to those specific questions, like it's so personal and nobody like ever gets the same answer. So it's really just like a journey of self-love and self-exploration and self-discovery. And I feel like a lot of us, you know, that ask those questions, we look outside of ourselves for the answers. And I know I've talked about this before, the answers to this, like it's not outside of us, it's all inside of us. So we really need to just take our journey and kind of like retreat and work on ourselves and just figure ourselves out, you know what I mean? So intense dissatisfaction with the state of society. Oh my God, yes, like daily, like oh my God. I swear I wake up in the morning and I'm just like feeling disconnected from others. Yes. I've talked about this before. I have felt like an outcast my entire life. I never feel like I fit in. I never feel like I connect to other people. Feeling misunderstood and on a different level to others. Yes, again. Chronic and profound loneliness. Yep, I can definitely say yes to that. I am a total loner. I mean, I have friends and I have people I talk to, but I feel like I don't have anyone like on a soul level. You know what I mean? Like I have my best friend and we get along and we're like friend soulmates, but we're still not on the same level spiritually, and it makes it so hard for me. It's very, very lonely. Sensations of being dead, numb, and or empty inside. That I can't say that I feel like at this moment, but it's one of the signs. Disinterest in social contact because it feels shallow. Yes. Yes, definitely explains so many like of the times that I don't even want to be on social media. I don't want to talk to people. I don't know. It's the whole small talk thing, and I'm just like, or superficial thing, and I have no interest in that. There's more to the list, which I'm gonna add in the description. So why can it not be healed with usual methods? So if this is the case, you probably feel even more hopeless. Yeah, pretty much. The danger with depression in the gifted adult is that to 99% of the psychological profession, depression is depression. Thus, someone who presents with depression is drugged and treated for depression. Yeah, it doesn't work here. It can't be healed with usual methods because it's not biological or hormonal. It's a spiritual in nature, which I said at the beginning of the video. So it's to do with a deep nitty-gritty preoccupation with the nature of life, death, and meaning. In fact, existential depression and the feeling of being separated from the divine and the soul go hand in hand. So here there's causes. You know, it talks about the dark night of the soul, which is... I've been through it. Oh my god. I feel like I'm still going through it. It's crazy. So I'm gonna stop here, but I'm gonna add the web link in the description. It's such a good read. I'm gonna read it again and go through it again because I relate to it so fucking much, and it explains so much. And I'm getting emotional because I feel like I've finally found something that I can relate to, and I really hope it helps some of you guys, and it brings you guys some answers in your struggles. So I will see you next Sunday.